This morning I'm here with you to announce the arrest of Karla Gene Davis. She's a white female, 36 years old, for the murder of Ian Klinedinst, a white male, 22 years old. On February 16, 2014, at 9:18 p.m., police were dispatched to a shooting in the 6100 block of Earline Circle North. When police arrived, they found the victim outside of his car suffering from a single gunshot wound to his face. Our investigation revealed that the suspect returned home after being away for the weekend with her boyfriend and son. The suspect discovered that her home had been burglarized. While this happened, at the same time, you had two vehicles that drove past her house down towards the dead end of the road. The vehicles were unbeknown to her. However, the occupants of those two cars were actually going down to that dead end to hang out in that area. She became mad. She armed herself with a handgun and then got in her car and drove down the street. The two vehicles and the victim, when they got back to the dead end, they actually realized the place was more developed than what they had remembered it from years before. So they were actually driving out from that area when the suspect pulled up in her car and actually blocked our victim's car in. The suspect basically fired one shot, killing the victim. And when she did that, the other vehicle actually, as the one vehicle was driving away, so you had her pull up and block the vehicle, block the victim's vehicle in, fired one shot at him. Well, right before that, the other vehicle drove around her vehicle and was on their way out of the neighborhood when it happened. She actually left, went back to her house, packed up some belongings, and fled. We did locate her at a hotel. We arrested her without incident and interviewed her, and she confessed. And I'll take any questions you might have.
So she just assumed that these were the people that burglarized the house? Is that your understanding?
Well, I wouldn't say that she assumed that they were individuals that had burglarized her home. It was one of those things where she had seen some vehicles, I guess, driving back down in there over a period of time, and really just became angered that here you had two cars that were coming down the street that weren't supposed to be back there.
Matt Augustine, WOKB. Let me just make sure I have the timeline of events here. She comes home from a weekend away, realizes her house is burglarized, she gets ticked off, sees these cars driving by.
Yes.
Whether or not she assumed is regardless, but she heads down to this dead-end area where they're going and blocks them in. And
yes. Fires one time,
kills him, the other dude peels out, or the other person peels out on the way. Gotcha.
That's correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
Was there any? Were there any shots fired from either of the two vehicles that she pursued or went after, or whatever she did?
The second individual, in other words, inside those cars as well, in the victim's car, there was another occupant in the passenger seat. There were also two children in that car. In the other vehicle that had escaped when she pulled up, there was our victim's girlfriend, the victim's friend, and then a third child, which was, all three children. The victim's girlfriend is the mother of.
Okay.
There was no guns recovered or found, or no shots fired from the victim's car. There was some other gunfire. Basically, the second car had pulled off because after she shot the victim, she began to drive towards his car, so he did discharge a handgun. No collateral damage or anything at all.
I'm sorry.
There was no additional damage from any other gunfire.
Okay. But the passenger in the second vehicle discharged a firearm at her vehicle?
I believe he's the driver of the second vehicle.
Okay. And was that individual? Has that individual been charged? Or is
No, he's not going to be charged. Not at all.
Did he hit the vehicle at all, or did it just?
I don't believe so. I think there may have been some bullets and stuff like that were fired into, but that was it.
Chris, why wouldn't he be charged? Is it a matter of
self-defense?
At that point, there was already in the picture.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a well-founded fear. He's right there. Shots are fired at his friend, and he's got to do what he has to do.
Was the gun recovered in the hotel?
We have not recovered a handgun as of yet. Okay. I mean, that's what she said it was a handgun. So we're still investigating. We still have some other investigative steps we need to take.
Any other questions?
During her action use, it says the suspect claims she was acting in self-defense. Did she go into that any further, like how her life was in danger?
She gave some specific statements, but we have evidence that refutes what she says.
Any other questions? All right. Thanks, Chief.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.